In our introductory video, we have learned something more about the 2030 Agenda and its goals. But what do the 17 Sustainable Development Goals consist of? Still, nearly half of the world's population lives in poverty, and lack of food and clean water is killing thousands every single day of the year. The goal number 1 of the 2030 Agenda aims to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. In 2020, between 720 million and 811 million persons worldwide were suffering from hunger, 161 million more than in 2019. The number of people going hungry and suffering from food insecurity had been gradually rising between 2014 and the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. The war in Ukraine is further disrupting global food supply chains and creating the biggest global food crisis since the Second World War. Goal number 2 aims to end hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Significant progress has made possible to increase life expectancy and reduce certain major causes of infant and maternal mortality. More efforts are needed to eradicate a wide range of diseases and to solve health challenges, old and new. With a focus on more effective financing of health systems, improved sanitation and hygiene, and better access to health professionals, significant progress can be made to save millions of lives. The goal number 3 aims to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Education promotes socio-economic mobility and is a means of escaping poverty. Over the past decade, major progress has been made in improving access to education and increasing enrollment rates at all levels, especially for girls. Nevertheless, more than half of all children and adolescents in the world do not have the minimum level of proficiency in reading and mathematics. In 2020, as the COVID-19 pandemic spread around the world, most countries imposed the temporary closure of schools. More than 91% of students worldwide have been affected. The goal number 4 aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Still, women and girls remain disproportionately affected, struggling with lost jobs and livelihoods, derailed education, increased burdens of unpaid care work and domestic violence. The goal number 5 aims to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Billions of people will lack access to these basic services in 2030 unless progress quadruples. Demand for water is rising owing to rapid population growth, urbanization and increasing water needs from agriculture, industry, and energy sectors. Decades of misuse, poor management, over-extraction of groundwater and contamination of freshwater supplies have exacerbated water stress. The goal number 6 aims to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Renewable energy solutions are becoming cheaper, more reliable, and more efficient every day. Our current reliance on fossil fuels is unsustainable and harmful to the planet. Implementing these new energy solutions as fast as possible is essential to counter climate change, one of the biggest threats to our own survival. Despite progress, there are still over 700 million people globally living in the dark and 2.4 billion cooking with harmful and polluting fuels. The war in Ukraine is driving up global energy prices and increasing energy insecurity in Europe. The goal number 7 aims to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable and modern energy for all. COVID-19 has disrupted billions of lives and put the global economy at risk. Indeed, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, predicts a recession as severe or even worse than that of 2009. As job losses intensify, the International Labour Organization estimates that almost half of the global workforce risks losing its livelihoods. The goal number 8 aims to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. A functioning and resilient infrastructure is the foundation of every successful community. To meet future challenges, our industries and infrastructure must be upgraded. For this, we need to promote innovative sustainable technologies and ensure equal and universal access to information and financial markets. This will bring prosperity, create jobs, and make sure that we build stable and prosperous societies across the globe. The goal number 9 aims to build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and foster innovation. Reducing inequalities and ensuring no one is left behind are integral to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Inequality within and among countries is a persistent cause for concern. Despite some positive signs toward reducing inequality in some dimensions, such as reducing relative income inequality in some countries and preferential trade status benefiting lower-income countries, inequality still persists. COVID-19 has deepened existing inequalities, hitting the poorest and most vulnerable communities the hardest. The goal number 10 aims to reduce inequality within and among countries. The world is becoming increasingly urbanized. Since 2007, more than half the world's population has been living in cities, and that share is projected to rise to 60% by 2030. Rapid urbanization is resulting in a growing number of slum dwellers, inadequate and overburdened infrastructure, and services, such as waste collection and water and sanitation systems, roads and transport, worsening air pollution and unplanned urban sprawl. The UN Food Agency, FAO, warned that hunger and fatalities could rise significantly in urban areas, without measures to ensure that poor and vulnerable residents have access to food. The goal number 11 aims to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Developing countries bear a large part of the climate, biodiversity, and pollution impacts of resource-intensive production processes, without reaping their benefits. The implementation of sustainable consumption and production will maximize the socio-economic benefits of resource use while minimizing the impacts. The goal number 12 aims to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. 2019 was the second warmest year on record and the end of the warmest decade, 2010 to 2019, ever recorded. Carbon dioxide, CO2, levels and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere rose to new records in 2019. Climate change is affecting every country on every continent. It is disrupting national economies and affecting lives. Weather patterns are changing, sea levels are rising, and weather events are becoming more extreme. The goal number 13 aims to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. The world's oceans and seas continue to struggle against increased acidification, eutrophication, and plastic pollution, which are endangering the planet's largest ecosystem and the billions of livelihoods depending on them. The goal number 14 aims to conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Nature is critical to our survival. Nature provides us with our oxygen, regulates our weather patterns, pollinates our crops, produces our food, feed, and fiber. But it is under increasing stress. Human activity has altered almost 75% of the Earth's surface, squeezing wildlife and nature into an ever smaller corner of the planet. The goal number 15 aims to sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, halt and reverse land degradation, halt biodiversity loss. Since 2018, more than 70 million people fled war, persecution, and conflict. The goal number 16 aims to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all and build effective, accountable and inclusive institutions at all levels. The SDGs can only be realized with strong global partnerships and cooperation. A successful development agenda requires inclusive partnerships, at the global, regional, national and local levels, built upon principles and values, and upon a shared vision and shared goals placing people and the planet at the center. The goal number 17 aims to strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development.